Hello YouTube, welcome back to another 4-Color Films video, and today we're going to be talking about comic book great, George Perez. So we got the bad news this year that George Perez has terminal cancer, and so he's going to be gone in a little while, probably too soon, knowing how shitty cancer is, but that's how it goes sometimes, and that's was an unfortunate thing to hear. And I know he had been retiring already, so we've seen him kind of we get to dial down his appearances, and we get to take less and less work on, which is fine. He's worked out a very long time and very hard, and so we can appreciate all the things he's done for the comic book community and all the great work he's done. So I'm really sad to hear him go, and he put out a great statement on his own website about how he was very honest, very forthcoming about what was going to happen, and that he's going to try to do his best to make sure he reached out to everybody as much as he could before he can't. And so that was a really lovely statement. And to complement that, CGC put out a private signing so that you could send some books in to CGC and get signed by him, and also get a new mask set which has his face on the top of it, which is a super nice recognition of his efforts. And also all the proceeds go towards him and his estate, which, as you know, comic book creators don't tend to have a lot of savings built up. The career itself is fairly merciless when it comes to retirement and not supporting people as they get older, so it's up to them to make sure they pad their future with enough things. So I am a big fan of supporting him with whatever you can do or whatever I can do. So to that extent, I'm happy to, number one, be able to support his fund and his trust going forward. And also, I'm also happy to get a piece of work signed by him, because he's such a great creator, such a great impact in my comics history, and my repertoire of books that he's done just is huge. So I want to make sure I recognize that and also get something signed by him, because it means a lot to me. So the dilemma now is, which books do you get signed by someone who's got a body of work that goes back to the 70s? And for me, being an 80s kid, I had a ton of books that are really meaningful to me, so selecting them was really hard. And so I want to show you a couple examples and maybe get your take as what you think is a great cover, or what do you think is a great piece of work to get signed by him, and what you are going to send to him, if you want to do it, what would you do? So I'll go through some of the examples that I picked, and then I'll show you the ones that I ended up finalizing on. So some books I thought of are like this great cover, which is this, classic Perez work. It's such a great poster shot. Like, I think this image has been used a lot. I actually have a shirt that I got in Taiwan that was a knockoff of this, which unfortunately I didn't get any money from that, but it's a great image. So I thought that one might be a nice one to do. And you know me, I'm much more about having that kind of first appearance or key slab, because to me that's the kind of where the investment is good, and also a nice way to encapsulate work. So here, first appearance of Jason Todd as Robin. Man, is that Tim Drake? I could be Tim Drake. I always forget. I get confused a little sometimes. It's a great cover, which is here. Yeah, there it goes. I think it's Tim Drake, because here's his big scene from Batman Year 3. And then of course there's his work on Crisis, which is just like cover after cover of, I think, some of his finest work. I think was in Crisis, frankly, because I think that really showed the breadth and depth of his work, because he was able, as always, unlike anyone, to be able to create a sense of density inside his work, which is ridiculous. He's always able to cram the most characters into the space of a comic page or cover, with like the most clarity, without feeling overwhelming, but at the same time to be able to have like so much work involved in there. It's very much so complex, but so well designed and so well drawn that I really appreciate his work on that side. So Crisis is definitely in there, and I'll show you a couple of examples later on that I can get to. Just a couple of like first appearances, like this first appearance of the new Cheetah as in human form. I think Barbara Minerva. There's of course this great body of work on Titans, which is the last issue of with Nightwing and Kid Flash walking away. There's some great impactful work, the whole the betrayal of Tara Markov, and this whole storyline was fantastic when I was reading it. For Spirits of Terra inside Teen Titans, same arc. Yeah, the Judas Contract was great. I mean, it just it really formalized Deathstroke in the storyline, but also gave light to Nightwing as a new identity for Robin, which now is so great. Classic issue here from Merle Fanfare, which is the first Spirits of Iron Maiden. Some there's a ton of Teen Titans first, like that one, or the first first Blackfire, great cover. First Brother Blood, it's a good example there. And then some later work too, like Infinite Crisis, like 3 and 5, which is like the first appearance of Jaime Reyes and the first appearance of Blue Beetle, the new Blue Beetle. So these issues can take some heat. I've already got a couple out there, but these are good covers as well too. Multiple copies of this issue, which is the actual Barbara Minerva as Cheetah number 3 or 2, whichever version she is, I forget. And then there's stuff like this too, which is like, the first miniseries JLA Avengers and Classic Perez, so good, great covers there. This iconic cover, so good. I mean, this series was a lot of fun. I am actually a little hesitant to get this one slabbed because I like to read it. So, and I don't. It's kind of hard to get copies of this comic book now. So I'm kind of like, I might not get this one done just because, even though it's great work, and though I think this cover is not my favorite cover. I feel like Thor's nose is just a little bit weird in there. So I'm like, it's not to me. This is not his finest work. It's a little bit later in his career. It's still great work, but it's not his finest work. And then we get down to. Okay. And then for some, these are some ones I'm still on the fence of sending, which is like, great iconic covers, from Crisis. Like these are big moments that everybody knows in Crisis, which is the death of Supergirl, the final death of the Flash, in these issues, which is so great. But I mean, these ones are definitely on my possible list. And then I have 2 copies of this, which is First Appearance of Captain Britain in the Marvel Universe, but these are not great copies. And I'm not sure if this is a great cover, frankly, because it's definitely a great first key appearance, but is it a great cover? I'm not sure. It's okay. Which leads me to the final select, which these ones I'm definitely going to do, which is number 1. Wonder Woman. His run in the 80s Wonder Woman was fantastic. This is a wraparound cover. It's got a minor first appearance, but I'll put it down here. I forget which one it is right now, but no big deal. But it's just like classic, clean lines of Perez highlighted here. A great run. This is the first appearance of New Vigilante, which is going to be in Peacemaker. And I love this cover too. Again, very much a perfect poster type cover, very prominent, very direct, very nicely designed. And I picked this one for the Judas Contract because it's the first appearance of Nightwing in his crazy disco outfit, which thankfully got better, but still a great moment. And the first appearance of Jericho in costume as well too, which is here. So great cover. I mean, I would do the first appearance of Deathstroke, but I think I already have my copy's already out at CGC. So that's already done. So that wasn't even an option if you're asking. And then of course, such a great iconic cover, which, I love this cover. It's so well designed and it's so iconic again and such a big deal. Not a first appearance technically, but it is a great cover, great poster cover. And then pick this one as well too, because it is, again, I really loved his run on Teen Titans in total. And so this is another great cover that's just like, everybody's on it. It's again, a very clean, great setup, very iconic. And then of course, I think I already have this Crisis #1 signed, but I'm gonna get another one because I want to have a signed version of it. I mean, sorry, I already have a 9.8 version of this, but now I would like to get this one signed. It won't be as good as that because this is actually my reader copy, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I loved, to me, Crisis was such a great body of work. It was so impactful for the time. It really did so much with so many characters, and I think this is a great work of his that just so much of his heart and soul went into this book for 12 issues, and just the magnitude of it was pretty incredible. So I'm definitely gonna put this on my list. Will condition be damned? It's just a matter of having a little piece of him that I would consider very meaningful to me, signed by him. So that's, to me, is a #1 choice, and it happens to be the first appearance of the Blue Beetle in this universe as well too, which is kind of cool. So there you go. Or that's what I've chosen for my picks, and there's a few alternates there. What do you think? What would you send in if you had your pick to send in to George Perez? Are you gonna send anything in, or do you gonna skip this one, or what do you think is the most impactful for you in his career of his body's work? Did I forget some? Probably. He's got a really long career, so. If you have, then please send me some shout outs and let me know what you think are ones that should be on my list. We have a little bit of time. You have only until the end of the month to send in your books, so if you're going to do it, I would do it soon. All right, thanks for watching, and take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.